Good evening. This is the video newsletter for buysellshort.net for Thursday, April 29th. It's been a couple of days since we did our last update on Tuesday. The world has not ended. The Dow is not at 10,000, and yet again, the bears find themselves scrambling to cover ill thought out shorts yet again. As I mentioned in the chat room all day Tuesday and yesterday, and in the video on Tuesday night, the silly carnage we saw on Tuesday that was merely an excuse for them to take this market down and grab more stock. And as I said previously, every time they've pulled out that grease BS, the market has moved to new highs within a few days. And lo and behold, here we are. We've almost, actually, we did by the end of the close today get all of those gains, all of the losses back before we saw a little dip into the close. This came despite the fact that yesterday those financial terrorists, the rating agencies, Standard and Poor's, came out right before the European markets closed yesterday morning, downgraded Spain's debt, sold the market off briefly, but stocks were able to recover nicely. That should have been the indication to the shorts and the bears that it was time to cover their bets, that the Energizer Bunny that is this market was going to keep on going, and keep on going it did. Right now, the trend remains up. As long as it pays to buy dips and move and just ride the wave to new highs, that is what we're going to do. Shorting seems to be a folly at this stage unless you're in and out really, really quickly. But let's jump into the indice charts here. We're looking at the Dow 15-minute chart here right now. You can see, as I mentioned in the video on Tuesday, the sell-off that we saw on Tuesday was a mirror of what we saw about 10 days previously when they smacked the market down on the Goldman Sachs news, and the recovery has pretty much been the same. Looks very, very good. We got that nice little pop. We do have a golden cross looming on the 15-minute chart on the Dow. We have not seen one of those in quite some time. And whenever we get that golden cross, should be sometime tomorrow mid-morning. Average gain has been about 150 points to the upside on that, which would take us, by the way, to new highs on the Dow, exactly as we called. Looking at the daily chart here, you can see, we broke below the 20-day exponential, and then boom, next day back up again. We've seen this trend so many times over the last year that why traders don't believe it and go short is beyond me at this stage. As long as this trend is working, why fight it? Use it as your friend. Now, if we had ended down on the session yesterday, yes, we would have been looking iffy going into today, but we've got RSI bouncing off 50, stochastics now down to the 50 level, and it looks sort of what we saw back in December. That's the last time we actually saw stochastics down in the 50 level, and that was back down here before we saw that big breakout of the rectangle formation that was in place. And even just looking at the volume bars on the Dow, look at this. I mean, for the last couple of months, we rarely see two red days in a row, and if we do, we don't see three. Again, I hate to beat a dead horse here, but while this trend continues, ride it. SMH didn't really participate in the market today, and as I mentioned in the chat room, we really wanted to see this make it back to 30 as a confirmation of the strength of this rally. Going into the close, we got our 30 mark on the SMH, bounce off the 20-day exponential. We've got a nice little channel here on the SMH, and we really want to see the tech stocks start to take off here, but everything looks great on Techland. Russell 2000 again, very nice pop in the Russell 2000 again today, so things look very, very good. Some of our small cap plays, of course, were weak today, but they weren't down that much over the last couple of days, and this is typical. I mean, we've been through this so many times in the last few months. Large caps lead the way. You'll start to see the speculative money really flow downhill. If not tomorrow, definitely next week. I mean, we've already started to see some of the speculative money in the chat room today. We'll actually go into it a little bit later. We had DNE. Actually, let me pull that up. DNE. We jumped in this one in the chat room. 28 cents today. Our target was 40 cents. Hit 39.9 cents. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Nice, 45% gain in the matter of a couple of hours. And the momentum, if you're seeing stocks, small cap stocks do this, it means the market looks really, really good. HRBR. if you were living under a rock today, DNDN, that saga that's been going on over the last couple of years, finally got FDA approval for their cancer drug, their prostate cancer drug. Uh, would be very surprised. Actually, I'm thinking the cancer stocks should do very well over the next few days. And actually, cancer stocks tend to do very, very well in the month of May, going into the ASCO huge cancer conference. HRBR, prostate cancer drug, very nice chart set up here. Breakout of 65 cents would accumulate of 60 cents and under, 52-cent stops, and the indicators look very, very good for this one in the near term. Another cancer biotech is BNVI. We played this one last week for a very big pop up to the 60s, has retraced all the way back down to the support level now. Would definitely consider moving back into this one again, especially with ASCO only a month away. And with cancer stocks, traders are going to be looking for cancer stocks. There are very, very few of these stocks left under $1, and this one has proved that it likes to pop. Uptrend line and RSI, stochastics down in the basement, and it's retraced all the way back to its breakout move, which equals perfect time to start getting back into this play. Bounce target 53 and 60 cents here. EEE. This is one we've played for a 50% move a couple of weeks ago, especially with the move in DNE. And yet again, as I mentioned last week, one by one, these cheap Amex stocks are just going boom, boom, boom. EEE, by consideration, 24 cents and under. We're looking for 30 cents and 40 cents. And then really, there's no reason why this stock should not make a move on its 200-day moving average over the next few weeks. So definitely one to pick up here. And should do very well, especially with the energy stocks starting to pick up steam. Speaking of energy stocks, TGC, this is one we played a couple of weeks ago. As you can see, it's been trading in a range of 51 to 55 cents over the last month. We got a golden cross on this stock today. Small oil plays have been taken off left and right. Breakout here, 55 cents, takes us to 70 cents with stops at 50, 52 cents here. RSI bouncing off 50, very strong ADX. Stochastics in the basement, on balance volume looks good, and this is definitely one that could see some trader interest in the market tomorrow, especially with the small oil plays starting to jam around. TSTR, keep a very close eye on this one tomorrow. We picked up a little taster position today in the chat room around 95 cents, beaten down tech stock over the last month. Exact same setup that we saw going from January into early March. The stock slowly walked down over the period of a month, and then from the mid 80s level went kaboom. Here we have a month walk down, bottomed out, and is starting to do its kaboom. RSI bouncing, ADX positive cross should be tomorrow. Stochastics in the basement. Would be adding to positions on this one on a break of $1, and a target bounce is the 200-day moving average up there at $1.22. Got to mention SPEX. This is my favorite biotech stock. Well, as in the cheap camp, $22 million market cap, phase 3 drug. Accumulate consideration $1.40 under. 155 is our first target, but really this is a $2 plus stock. Great long-term play if you're looking for a biotech risky. Well, not risky. All biotech stocks are risky, but if you're looking for a sleeper biotech stocks to stick in your long-term accounts, definitely one to keep an eye on. CRXX. This one has a big move coming in it. I can just feel it in my bones. Stock over the last couple of after-hours trading sessions has been making little brief trips over the $1.40 level, only to get walked down. Definite sign of accumulation. News is probably pending on this one, and when it does, we should easily see a nice little pop on this one with rock solid support at the 200-day moving average at $1.22. So that's it for the video tonight. Again, as I mentioned in the chat room today, you probably want to, some of you guys have been saying you've been sitting on or all in this market, really want to be sitting probably around 20-25% cash, only so that you can jump on opportunity like DNE. Always keep your accounts fluid, ready to pounce on some plays. All in is usually not a good idea. So if you are all in, look for some of the winners that we have. Take some off the table. Raise those cash levels and be ready to deploy it to new plays. I mean, it's all about making your money work for you, especially when you're seeing trades get thrown off in this market like they are right now, left and right. So that's it. Going into tomorrow, BNVI. and EEE look very, very nicely set up, and then keep a very close eye on TSTR, and of course our oil plays, TGC, and another one to keep an eye on is GPR. So that's it for the video. See you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Good night.